The views expressed in the following program do not necessarily represent the views of this station or its management.
Real People, Real Life is brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Welcome to another episode of Real People, Real Life here in Wichita, Kansas.
America!
I'm here with Foss, I'm here with Rhodey, and we're going to have a heck of a show today.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do we got coming up here?
We have quite a few interesting subjects to cover today. Number one, something I'm a little bit passionate about because I have personal experience. We have Adopt Kansas Kids today. Yeah. We have some great information coming from them. And then we also have a local success story artist here with us. Shane, his name that he goes by is, say it?
Young Sick again.
Young Sick. But I know him by Shane Griffin, so. And that's what we have coming up.
More about Shane.
Yeah, and stay tuned. You'll find out more about his success story. So
being that this show actually is going to air next Monday,
wow.
There's lots of timely things that we could talk about, Don. Like tonight is the debate. So what do you
Yes, it
expect,
is.
Don?
It's going to be fantastic. I cannot wait.
Let's get this head on.
Well, you know, I watched Hillary Clinton debate before, back in 2008, when she got beat by that other guy. And then,
that other guy.
In 2016, when she debated Bernie Sanders. In my opinion, she's a phenomenal debater. If they go by debates and debate points, like we saw in high school. It's not going to go that way, though.
But when has it ever gone like a high school debate?
Probably never. Well, maybe Lincoln Douglas. I don't know.
Yeah, back.
It's going to be more like a roast.
That, I think, is what created the high school debates, the Lincoln debate.
That could be, or be, yeah.
But then,
it went hours.
So what are you expecting out of this deal?
A train wreck somewhere.
I think it's going to be like a roast. You ever watch the MTV or the Comedy Central roast?
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be like.
I don't know really what to expect.
Yeah.
It's all over the place. It'll be interesting.
Well, she should ask Trump for some specifics on his policies. Because when I watched the primary debates, that was a disappointing thing. He didn't did not get into a lot of, I think, hard detail. Didn't really show a mastery of some subjects. Mm-hmm. And this is where Mrs. Clinton is strong. Mm-hmm. I think, anyway.
But she's been in politics.
She's been
forever.
in politics. Mr. Trump is not.
He's been in real
That's
estate.
a defining characteristic of this election cycle. Who's the old guard? Who's the new guard?
Probably will. The good thing is like, well, if you're watching this now, it's already happened. So
yeah,
let's keep a scorecard here and see if Donald's right about this.
Well, next week, I think October 4th, they have another one, round 2.
All right.
So, ladies.
Well, we're closing in,
quick,
so yeah.
40 days left or something.
Yeah, we're closing in.
You start voting almost immediately now. You've got your mail-in, early ballots. You've got your walk-in places. So vote often. No, that's a different. Sorry, vote early.
Vote often. Register.
One person, one vote.
Somebody call Chris Kobach.
He's a Trump supporter. Did you know that?
No.
Oh, you probably not.
You don't say, Don.
Yeah. There's a lot of people.
Are you saying that you're not?
Oh, I am.
He is now. He wasn't until he had no choice.
Well, I got down to I like Rand Paul. I get to see him coming up Saturday, October 1st. He's going to be in town for a Kansas Policy Institute. Absolutely sponsored a big dinner. We got invited as guests.
Oh, that's cool.
So Rand Paul's been kind of Ron Paul, his father, of course, is our hero, but this kid's okay. So it should be a good speech. Should be a good evening. We got to get dressed up.
All right. Where's that at? You're not supposed to say.
No, it's downtown at the Hyatt.
Okay.
But we're guests, but it's like $125 a pop. That's an expensive dinner, people. It's a fundraiser for Kansas Policy Institute, spin-off of the Koch brothers. So why they need money, I'm not sure, but all righty.
Well, they don't have to pay for everything themselves.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But
might as well make Don pay in part.
So what have you been up to? I heard you've been gone. Because I've been gone.
Friday,
I'm finally back.
Actually, Friday I took local here, John McBride.
Sure, you talked about it before.
Yeah, we've gone out to Nashville to do an interview with him and Martina, and so Martina was playing at the Stiefel in Salina. So I was up at Salina and I took him through the Acoustic Sounds record press plant.
Nice.
Chad Kasem started years ago, and since I was there probably 2 years ago, they've doubled in size.
Really?
I mean, I think they have over 90 people working for them now.
Wow.
And it's become, forgive me if I'm wrong, but the second largest record vinyl press plant in the United States.
Vinyl's come way back.
Oh man, and just the quality just blows away CDs. I know that doesn't.
Hey,
It really does. I've always been a vinyl record girl. Like, I still have
we finally
record players.
We got an Audio Technica turntable.
Oh, you did?
Oh,
man.
And,
Well, you should.
So we did AB. I got it on compact disc, and I got it on the turntable. Oh my gosh, the depth.
Yeah, there's a huge difference.
And these are records been played 1,000 times. Because that was kind of stuff.
Right. Well, I tell you what, they have been remastering almost everything. And so I was like in his vault there. I was looking at the original recording, or it's like the one-off original recording of all the Beatles stuff, of all the Zeppelin, of all the Pink Floyd,
Nice.
of all the Rush. It's right in there.
Nice.
It's like, and they're redoing it and they're remastering these, and they're coming back out fresh vinyl.
Wow.
So I wouldn't exactly say they're classic collector's items from the 70s, but
Still.
they sound incredible. But they're off of the original master tapes.
I've heard they've done the Rolling Stones.
Yep, all Stone, like a bunch of the Stones is in there. So
I
you got
listened to the digital version of it, and what is it? It's that the big double one's the big.
Yeah.
Everybody knows out there what I'm
on
talking
the Stones, Exile on Main Street.
That's the one. And the original thing is muddy, and the new one is a lot clearer, which I don't know if that's an improvement or not. I like that.
Yeah, the old scrap. But this is actually what they've been doing is taking the original master 4, 8, 16, 24 track recording tapes and remastering off of that.
Nice.
And this Chad Kasem guy's a genius. But having John McBride, who owns Blackbird Studios in Nashville, and this is where everybody goes to record now. They're huge, and there's some quality coming out of here. To see these guys go at it toe to toe for 3 hours on stuff way over my pay grade.
Wow.
I mean,
Fun time.
I learned a heck of a lot of stuff. It was like being at Disneyland with 2 kids. And I was like too short to get on the rides. It was like, these guys are geniuses. And I mean, John McBride's my hero.
I bet that was a learning experience though, for you, though.
Oh man, massive. And
I was surprised to find out there's a different process for mastering vinyl as there is for CDs.
So there is.
You know, I've been seeing a lot of turntables in the stores this season.
They're back.
Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
They're back out there.
That makes me happy.
Me too. It's thrilling to see brand new copies of
Yeah, classic.
classics, but also like before I left, he gave me an LP of Martina McBride's new album, which is pretty fantastic too.
Awesome.
I haven't opened it, but I've actually heard most of it. But the highlight of the evening was then like after that, then came back, picked up my wife, went down there for the show, and John was like, how's it sound? I'm like, are you kidding me? You're like Garth Brooks' sound. Yeah, of course it sounds fantastic. But then he's like, come on, I brought him some tomatoes. So took him back to the bus, and we were hanging out there on the bus. And then at one point it was me and my wife and John and Martina McBride just hanging out on the bus talking about gardening for about 10 minutes.
Amazing. That's real life.
Yeah. And she was like, how do you get your tomatoes not to crack? And I was like, I've had a bad year. I was like, what's it rain like in Nashville? It was like, it was pretty surreal. But that was awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And then last night I went to the Chiefs-Jets game, which was awesome. So never been in I don't even think a high school game where I've seen 6 interceptions in one game.
That was phenomenal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought it was just every
was
time he
great.
passed, like, here's Casey. Here's
Yeah.
Casey.
But it was all sorts of loud and yeah. So that's it. That's
You've
all.
been gone for a while, too.
Yeah,
I
you've been
did.
out.
I got to go to South Padre
I
and
know.
swim with the wild dolphins and paddleboard and all kinds of fun stuff.
Really?
So yeah,
Wild dolphins down there in Padre that are accessible, huh?
they're right there in the ocean. You wouldn't even believe it, but they do. They live in the water and they feed themselves.
Say what? I thought it was you at the bar and they were sitting around a table playing cards.
I'm pretty sure.
Hey, yeah, and we had an absolute blast. Julius loved every minute of
Did you
it.
see the Porky Man of War just bopping up and down the water?
No, I did not.
You're lucky.
I guess
They
so.
look like a basketball. My friend and I were out swimming. He said, look at that basketball. I said, I don't think so. He said, yeah, I swam over to it. Well, they got 25 feet tentacles. And they reached out.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah, we made it back to the shore. And his girlfriend came up and did this, but she got a worse burn than he did. but it was horrible.
Well,
Say
they do.
what?
I thought they were deadly. Aren't they pretty?
They can make
like
you very-
You know what?
poisonous.
I did see that I didn't know the ocean. They have catfish, hammerhead catfish or something like that, or something. Anyway, when we went and we ate at this Louis' backyard, and we had crab legs, right? Tons of them, plates, and they just the people that clean them
Louis?
off. They just dump it off into the ocean, and all of these catfish and all I kept thinking is if a human accidentally fell in there, they would devour it within seconds. Like it was
Awesome.
crazy.
Wow.
It ate all of everything.
I'd like to see that video.
Yeah,
just-
I mean that's something you could do with somebody instead of the hog farm, right?
Well, yeah, like, honey, look at the. Oh.
Sorry, Frank.
I mean, because they were like this. It looked like piranha.
Oh man, that's nuts.
I never seen anything like that.
Louis' home of the cherry bomb, isn't that what it is?
Yes, yummy.
I love
I remember that vaguely. I remember it because I have the cup and the free T-shirt, but the rest of it not so much.
I tell you what, though, there was some wonderful music and fireworks, and just it was an amazing time. So how about you? You haven't been here either.
Well, I've been busy. Actually, I came down. I turned 70. I had a birthday.
Happy birthday. Me too. I had a birthday. I turned 12.
I know. And so I went downtown to the Orpheum. It was raining real hard. I got out, got my leg wet. It got infected. 2 weeks later, it's still infected. I've had almost 14, days of that. Not happy with my doctor because she just gives me another pill.
What is it like? What do you call it? Not staph infection, but
I don't know. I keep thinking it's that brain-eating fungus or whatever, infection, meat, flesh-eating thing. She said, no, but it's horrible.
well, we're going to take a break. Let's hear from our food sponsors.
Yeah, we'll be having some interesting guests here in a minute.
Real People, Real Life is brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Albero Cafe, like a vacation to Italy, with Wichita's best Italian dining. Open Monday to Saturday. Happy hour Monday to Thursday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Enjoy our featured cocktails, lovely wines, and famous martinis. Albero Cafe.
Easy Pay Auto Sales, 2305 South Broadway. Our goal is to make your next auto buying experience nice and easy. We specialize in getting you the best prices with the most reasonable down payments. Bad credit, no worries. We keep it hassle-free and no crazy gimmicks. You can even call and make your payments over the phone with your credit or debit cards. Keeping it nice and easy for you at Easy Pay Auto Sales, 2305 South Broadway. Find us on Facebook.
Roll camera and sound. Speed! Speeding! Action!
When you look good, you feel amazing. Let 2NVMe help you. Straight, wavy curls, volume, or 100% virgin hair is the best in the world. The perfect professional business look, the perfect fun lady social look, the perfect beautiful night on the town. You can be all of those and more with real hair extensions from 2NVMe. 6160 East 21st Street North, Suite 220. Buy online with free shipping at 2NVMe.com. You deserve to feel fantastic.
Tune in every Monday at 7:30 a.m. for Real People, Real Life as we cover current events and local happenings. Real life issues with special guests and spotlight local business and politics. If it's in Kansas, we cover it. Real People, Real Life, Monday at 7:30 a.m. on MyTV Wichita.
Kiter Nursery Landscape Outlet, located at 6441 South Broadway, is your year-round growing headquarters. Every spring and fall, our greenhouses are full of the most beautiful flowers, trees, hanging baskets, and more, sure to add beauty for years to come. We are also a gardener's dream come true. From veggies to herbs, we have the best. Decorative planting pots and yard art, the most in one place. Smoking barbecue wood to wood for your indoor and outdoor fireplaces. Kiter Nursery Landscape Outlet, come grow with us. Find us on Facebook, open 7 days a week.
It's the annual 2 + 2 = 0 at Credit King Auto Sales. I told Dad, perfect timing. It's right in time for back to school. It is so easy. 2 years at your job, 2 years where you live, and with those 2 things, you can drive off with zip, zero, nada, nothing down. Pretty cool, huh? Come in now and save some serious money with the annual Credit King 2 + 2 = 0 down payment. Credit King Auto Sales. Bad credit, no credit, No worries at the King's Corner, 31st Street South and Broadway.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Real People, Real Life here in Wichita, Kansas, America. And today we are honored with the presence of Adopt Kansas Kids. We have Corey, Michelle, and Libby here. Right now, presently, there's 1,183 approximately kids waiting to be adopted, correct?
That's correct.
What can we do to reduce those numbers?
What we can do is we're always looking for people to become foster parents and adopted parents, to really reach out and take an active role in those children's lives, to really adopt those kids. You know, we have a number of kids that don't have an identified resource, so there's a huge chunk of those kids, over 400 of them, that don't have an identified person, what we call a resource, that has stepped up to show interest to adopt them. So we're always needing more people to do that, and if people aren't willing to adopt or able to adopt, there's always a need for support for those families as well.
Okay, and you guys each have a personal experience with adoption, like myself. So how are you personally affected by adoption?
My younger brother is adopted, so he's my motivation for doing what I do, and he's kind of my my support system, and always encouraging me to do a better job and to really do all we can for the kids.
Now, as a sibling, when did your parents take him?
I was 7 years old, and he was just a baby, so he was days old when he came. I kind of I always tell him I had expectations for what he was going to be, and he totally did not meet those expectations.
Did your parents prepare you?
They did. I remember when the social worker came into the home and talked to all of us, and I signed all the paperwork too.
Say, I will not harm this child.
Exactly. I thought it was going to
share my tools.
I was like, I thought you were going to be like this, and I always tell them, you ended up being so much more than we ever could have expected. You ended up being the complete piece for our family, and kind of held it all together.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So very positive experience.
Very positive experience.
And here he's an officer of the law.
Yes, he is.
Well, see, and that's so positive, because there's so often you hear an opposite side of that story with people involved in adoption.
Yep.
And so, did he ever find his adopted parents? Or
yeah.
Did he?
He did. We supported them in that, and
that's awesome.
I always tell people that the kids are going to always have those connections, and it's good to foster those and to really, show them that it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. They'll always have the connections to their families. They're not orphans. They have families. So, and that's one thing. We don't want to disparage that. They came from love, but there's the loss there that comes with adoption. But we always want to support where they came from in their families.
Okay, Michelle, how are you personally affected?
I am an adoptive parent. So my husband and I adopted, we actually went through private domestic infant adoption, which is whole nother beast in terms of adoption. But
I hear that's a lot harder.
It is harder. Typically in that realm of the adoption world, there's roughly about 30 couples waiting for one infant placed. So my husband and I waited for 2 years to be picked, and we were picked by a very lovely woman who actually happens to live in Topeka, which is where I work. And so our little daughter is now going to be 3 in November, and we have an open adoption.
Oh.
So that means that we really maintain those ties to her biological family. We actually just went and saw her biological aunt and her little cousin just this past weekend. So
now, does that get hard to explain? They start asking questions. They always ask those, that show What Kids Say, and they always ask questions. It's like walking a fine line, like how you answer those. And but honesty to me is always the best route.
Right. We've always been very open and honest that she's adopted, and even though we're mom and dad, she still has another mom and dad. And we still, call them, mama, then her first name and stuff. And we always maintain that it's always done in respect and love. And of course, the conversation's going to change as she gets older and she grasps more of what's going on. But right now, she's just having a good time playing with her cousins and she has an older brother as well. So she just has a good time playing with the kids, and adoption's just sort of a...
See, I think that's wonderful, that I'm not saying that you're an adult about it, but that you guys are so mature about it and able to foster that. Because when you don't, it seems like it leaves a lot of questions to be answered, okay, no matter how it's gone about. And the better that you fulfill those questions, entirely, in answering them, the better off the child seems to come out. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's tough. You can't, that's where she came from. I can't deny that. And to deny that is, I think, kind of denying a piece of her own identity, And so you just can't disparage it.
From a kid's point of view, you get 2 Christmases,
yeah,
2 birthday parties. Why wouldn't you let them have that?
I was kind of look at it, my own brother, like with his birth mom, we all have a relationship with her, and she's
extra
a wonderful
Christmas
person.
Present.
It's an extra person in my brother's life that loves him.
Absolutely.
Why would I deny that?
Right.
It's like, at first I'm like, I don't want to share him. He's my brother, but at the same time, it's like, you know what? She loves him, and this is good for him too.
And why deny him all that love too?
Exactly. Exactly. So.
And who knows what influence that person's going to provide to, that's going to actually probably spark his decision in life of being a law enforcement officer. So, yeah. Okay, and Libby, you're sitting there so quietly listening to these stories. How are you personally affected by it?
I am personally affected because I fostered and I adopted both my daughters, and I got my oldest daughter at 12 days old, and then a year and a half later I got my youngest daughter. And it took 27 months fully from fostering to adoption for my first, and then 17 months for my second daughter.
Now, were you kin?
No, I was not.
No, you just got dropped some babies.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, and so you decided to adopt, and how long was the process?
For my first daughter, it was 27 months total.
And your second?
It was 17 months total from beginning to the finalization.
Is that like the average span for an adoption to take?
It could be a little longer sometimes. It just depends on what happens during the course of the case. And with the first one, it took a little over 2 years and something. But, when you have to give the parent the right to try to get their child back through the fostering process.
Yeah, the integration.
Right.
Yeah, that makes it a little bit longer too, in terms of you're dealing with the reintegration process. Like for Adopt Kansas Kids, our children, their parents' rights have already been severed. And so I'd like to say that usually from a person starting the process to adopting, it takes about a year, give or take, because these children, they don't have that particular portion of the whole process attached to that. So it's really just kind of about the family getting the things together that they need to do to parent the child.
So this is really upsetting me. I'm sorry. There is 1,183 children with severed rights, so they don't have anybody protecting.
Well, not to
they have the rights severed of the parent, and they're just sitting there waiting. They don't have a parent.
A good majority of those kids will have kin, or like whether it's aunt or uncle, grandpa and grandma, or their foster parents that are willing and able to adopt them. So you're left with about 400 that don't have an identified resource. So
that's what you're saying as an identified resource.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It's still a lot. It's
terminology, and it's factual terminology, but it's a parent.
Yeah, and that number fluctuates.
Really
and you're talking about kids that out of that 400 that have been waiting for a long time. They're older, most generally, over the age of 7. Sibling groups, you could talk, groups of 3, 4 or more kids, kids with special needs too. So those are a lot of things that really kind of contribute to the kids waiting a little bit longer to find those families. We know there are families that are out there that can parent these children successfully and be the best that they can be for those kids, but it's a matter of finding them. A lot of people just don't know about the kids. They don't know that there's 400 kids that are in every community in Kansas that are needing to be adopted. They just assume, you think of adoption, you think of babies, or you think of like international adoptions, that sort of thing. You don't think of so-and-so who happens to be in the same school as their own kids that are needing to be adopted. So it's just kind of like one of those things that foster kids get kind of a raw end of the deal, and a lot of times they get this particular, type of child that's needing to be adopted. Often, people don't know. So.
How old are your adopted children that you fostered now?
They're 13 and 15, so it's been a minute.
You have had them
Yes.
for a minute.
Yes.
But sadly, that is the age groups, right around the age groups that we have the highest numbers in.
Yeah, the average age for those 400 kids is age 12. So
We're going to talk about that and how people can get a hold of Adopt Kansas Kids and what they can do if they're interested in becoming one of these parents or resources. All right, we'll be right back. Got to pay some bills. See you in a minute.
Real People, Real Life is brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Albero Cafe, like a vacation to Italy, with Wichita's best Italian dining. Open Monday to Saturday. Happy hour Monday to Thursday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Enjoy our featured cocktails, lovely wines, and famous martinis. Albero Cafe.
Easy Pay Auto Sales, 2305 South Broadway. Our goal is to make your next auto buying experience nice and easy. We specialize in getting you the best prices with the most reasonable down payments. Bad credit, no worries. We keep it hassle-free and no crazy gimmicks. You can even call and make your payments over the phone with your credit or debit cards. Keeping it nice and easy for you at Easy Pay Auto Sales, 2305 South Broadway. Find us on Facebook.
When you look good, you feel amazing. Let 2NVMe help you. Straight, wavy curls, volume, or 100% virgin hair is the best in the world. The perfect professional business look, the perfect fun lady social look, the perfect beautiful night on the town. You can be all of those and more with real hair extensions from 2NVMe. 6160 East 21st Street North, Suite 220. Buy online with free shipping at 2NVMe.com. You deserve to feel fantastic.
Kiter Nursery Landscape Outlet, located at 6441 South Broadway, is your year-round growing headquarters. Every spring and fall, our greenhouses are full of the most beautiful flowers, trees, hanging baskets, and more, sure to add beauty for years to come. We are also a gardener's dream come true. From veggies to herbs, we have the best. Decorative planting pots and yard art, the most in one place. Smoking barbecue wood to wood for your indoor and outdoor fireplaces. Kiter Nursery Landscape Outlet, come grow with us. Find us on Facebook, open 7 days a week.
Roll camera and sound.
Speed!
Speeding! Action! It's the annual 2 plus 2 equals 0 at Credit King Auto Sales. I told Dad perfect timing. It's right in time for back to school. It is so easy. 2 years at your job, 2 years where you live, and with those 2 things, you can drive off with zip, zero, nada, nothing down. Pretty cool, huh? Come in now and save some serious money with the annual Credit King 2 plus 2 equals 0 down payment. Credit King Auto Sales. Bad credit, no worries at the King's Corner, 31st Street South and Broadway.
All right, and we're back with Real People, Real Life here, still in Wichita, Kansas, America.
Yeah.
And we still have with us today Adopt Kansas Kids. We have Corey, Michelle, and Libby here. And Don, you've had some experience.
I have. My wife's older sister, back in the late 60s or mid 60s, was an unwed mother. They put her in a home. They adopted the child out right away, and we had no touch. We knew she was out there, was a family member. We were missing her, and then several years ago, she reconnected. And so this past Labor Day, it was so wonderful.
That's awesome.
After 40-some years, and she stayed with us. And as Corey and Michelle said, it's important to have a family.
Absolutely, and I think that a lot back then, I don't think it was as encouraged to maintain the family ties.
And she had to go for a lot of jump through some hoops to get the information. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, her mother had died. Her birth mother had died, her sister. But she still reconnected, and we went back to little Parsons, Kansas, and went to St. Paul, Kansas, and saw the museum, saw the cemetery.
Wow. It's life-changing.
I love Don.
It was awesome. So
that is amazing
yes,
story.
It's so amazing when Corey and Michelle say they encourage that, and Libby, I'm sure, to have those connections, because kids do grow up and they do have questions. And it is a part, when we talk to Judy about it, it's a part that's missing and you'd like to have it. You love your parents, your new family, you love them, and you adore them, you want to be with them forever, but you still have this little missing part that is important.
It is important. Now, a lot of these children that are waiting, they just don't have resources, right? But there's several different ways to go about adopting. Your experience was through
agencies.
So what does that mean to somebody like me that doesn't know anything about that?
I went through, back in the day, it was TFI. You might, the agency that I went through might have been TFI, but my child was considered like a youth field child at that time. And so I had to basically go through different agencies to get done what I needed to get done, as far as whether it be MAP class and whatever they asked me to do. And
now, how much did it cost you to adopt?
Actually, it didn't cost me anything back in the day when I did it.
What do I keep hearing you say over and over?
It's free.
It shouldn't cost you anything.
Yep.
So literally, these children are sitting there, and it doesn't cost a dime. And there's so many families out there.
Cost you a lot from your heart.
That's the key right there. Is that it's hard to extend yourself emotionally. And a lot of these children that are in high needs are either special needs. All children that are in the system suffer trauma. So they're going to be a higher needs teenager. A lot of them, that's the age group that's sitting there waiting, right?
Teenagers wait the longest.
They do.
They really do. And it runs the gamut in terms of the needs and how prepared kids are to be adopted. I mean, some kids are going to take a long transition. Some kids are ready, and some kids have mild needs, some kids have extreme needs. So it kind of depends. I mean, it runs the gamut, like I said. And that every single day, I talk to people, and they have this conception that the adoption is going to cost thousands.
Yeah, that's what I assume, that
and
it's thousands.
Not this type of adoption. Adopting a child out of foster care costs little to nothing. It doesn't cost anything. So it's one of those things. It's just, that's a barrier always. We say it every day to every kind of way we can say it, and it's still one of those myths that kind of perpetuates.
So now, what is the process to adoption? Let's say somebody out there is watching, and they've decided, they're great with all 6 of their teenagers, and they're going to take on a troubled one. What would they do? How would they go about contacting you? What's the process?
Okay. First things first, give us a call. It's 877-457-5430. That's our toll-free number. And we talk to people that are just kind of wanting to touch bases. We're not going to have them sign their life away or anything like that. Because a lot of people, this is a big deal. This is a life of a child. So we want people to just kind of talk to us. And I've seen people that have touched bases with us and then said, well, we'll think about it. And then years later, I'll recognize the name, and they'll call back and say, okay, we're ready to go. And so it's a big deal. It takes a long time. People think about it and pray about it for a long time. So we want them to touch bases with us and make one of those connections, throughout the years. And so call us, talk to us. We have information we can provide for free that kind of details what the process is. And we have a Facebook page we'd like people to stay connected to.
What is that Facebook page?
It's just Adopt Kansas Kids. So, and yeah, we post stories about people that have adopted. It's really, it keeps us connected to people daily, through all the success stories that are out there, because you primarily hear about the bad stories, in the media, and this tells you about the good stories, which there are so many more of those than there are the bad stories. So, and we have, as a parent, different things you can do to help your children, different ways to bond with your kids, that sort of thing, regardless of whether your kids are adopted or not. We want to touch bases with parents and connect with them.
Well, once they're adopted, they're not adopted kids anymore. They're just kids.
We always, my family, it was always one of those things where they forgot which one was adopted. It wasn't. It was
they can't remember.
They didn't know.
And they're pretty sure it wasn't you.
They didn't know. And looks alone, people were like, Corey's adopted. They're like, he doesn't look like anybody. So, they were always, give me a hard time about that. But it was one of those things. Adoption was always something that we knew about and talked about, but it wasn't like you're the adopted one. It was never like that.
So if there's one thing that you could tell our viewers, what would it be?
I would say, consider it. I think a lot of people just have not really thought about it. I think that if they're looking to become a parent or always wanted to be a parent, this is an option. It's a very viable option. These kids deserve a family, and there are a lot of great families out there that could be perfect for them if they would just give it a chance.
How about you, Michelle?
I think I would second that, and I would also say to just trust themselves. I think a lot of parents think, oh, I just couldn't let a child into my home. They've got too much trauma, they're too hard. There are a lot of kids out there. I mean, I don't care how a kid comes to your home. Being a parent is a tough gig. And I think parents need to not sell themselves short and give themselves a chance to really try to get a chance on some of those kids. Being a parent's hard, whether you're adopting them or not.
It's the most thankless job.
Yeah.
Until they get older, and then they, of course, come and thank you. But, you got to wait that one out. How about you, Libby? If you had one thing to tell our viewers, what would it be?
I would speak out to the people that are empty nesters, trying to recruit those people to come in, give a call. Maybe your child's went off to college or something like that. My girls are teenagers now. One of my daughters wants to be a neurosurgeon. The other one wants to be a vet. The sky is the limit. And it just takes people, it's just a person's time. If you can dedicate some time to going through the process and be patient, then there might be a child on the other side waiting for you.
See, and I agree. I think empty nesters are your best target because they've already been broken, and they have, and that age group does not scare them.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Teenager is it's a fun journey.
It's never dull, that's for sure.
Empty nesters are like, I don't want to go through the diaper stage again and all that.
Hey, I don't like sleepless nights either, but and plus they have better communication skills because they've already done it, as a parent, and that crying and stuff don't work on them, and all that. So I really do appeal to anybody. We want to reach out, find you guys, and get some of these kids out of the system because, just like your brother, even though he was a baby when he was adopted, had he been older, where would he have ended up?
It's one of those things, the kids, sky's the limit in terms of where they can go.
Exactly, and it's the people, I think, the influence that's provided in their lives that really can heal, too, everything that they've gone through. Because adopted children are considered, children in the system are considered traumatized.
Right.
Yeah.
All of them.
In adoption alone, it's a relationship born out of loss. So, it's really, it's sad to hear that, but there's always, kind of that loss there that comes with that. So, adoptive children are well adjusted to, just like any other child would be, but there is always that connection and that loss from adoption. So.
Okay, and so for people that have adopted, there are a lot of resource programs out there for post-adopted families. Mm-hmm. One of them I got to experience myself, which was K-Park. Mm-hmm. And tonight even is another little cafe get-together. And there's a lot of different resources available. Do you know any of any resources that you want to tell people about?
Well, I know that in Wichita there's going to be one on October 24th. It's the Wichita Parent Cafe at the KCSL office in Wichita. I can't tell you exactly what they'll be doing on that one, but I know that it is a good resource. They do a lot of helping with, they go through certain books. I know they're going to be doing a trust-based relationship intervention cafe to help parents learn some ways to meet the needs of traumatized children in terms of really concrete skills in parenting them. So that's one of the things that's coming up. And then they always have their family retreats, strong and stable couples retreats that come up. And then they are developing statewide support groups for parents as well, so that adoptive parents can get together, because really that's your best resource.
Absolutely.
Is just parents who've been there and done it.
Yeah.
And so that's always growing and making those connections with other adoptive parents. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are really fun retreats and stuff to go to.
They really are.
But those are also, when you adopt, you have to maintain, if you're a foster parent, you have to maintain like hours and stuff, and those are credited to that. So, you can get credit for learning all these little tools for your tool belt.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so, what? Tell
Education's
us.
always good.
Yes, it is. Tell us again, real quick. What's the step if they want to adopt?
Okay,
Who do they call?
They want to adopt. Call us at Adopt Kansas Kids at 877-457-5430, and we can get you set up and pointed in the right direction if you're ready to start then and there. Otherwise, we're there to counsel you and to let you know what you need to do and be there every step of the way. So.
And how much should it cost?
Zero.
It's free.
Your heart.
Yes.
Yes. Well, thank you, Corey and Michelle and Libby, for coming from Adopt Kansas Kids. And we'll be back.
Real People, Real Life is brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Albero Cafe, like a vacation to Italy, with Wichita's best Italian dining. Open Monday to Saturday. Happy hour Monday to Thursday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Enjoy our featured cocktails, lovely wines, and famous martinis. Albero Cafe.
Easy Pay Auto Sales, 2305 South Broadway. Our goal is to make your next auto buying experience nice and easy. We specialize in getting you the best prices with the most reasonable down payments. Bad credit, no worries. We keep it hassle-free and no crazy gimmicks. You can even call and make your payments over the phone with your credit or debit cards. Keeping it nice and easy for you at Easy Pay Auto Sales, 2305 South Broadway. Find us on Facebook.
Creativity isn't something you learn. It's something you discover. We're all born creative, but it isn't always fully realized. Take ideas and turn your vision into something tangible. Not just to grow, but to thrive, to test yourself, and to find your instincts. Mold your own path to success. Experience yourself in your true colors. At Bethany College at Mindfire, our goal is to see your future created. Bethany College at Mindfire. Create your future.
When you look good, you feel amazing. Let 2NVMe help you. Straight, wavy curls, volume, or 100% virgin hair is the best in the world. The perfect professional business look, the perfect fun lady social look, the perfect beautiful night on the town. You can be all of those and more with real hair extensions from 2NVMe. 6160 East 21st Street North, Suite 220. Buy online with free shipping at 2NVMe.com. You deserve to feel fantastic.
Kiter Nursery Landscape Outlet, located at 6441 South Broadway, is your year-round growing headquarters. Every spring and fall, our greenhouses are full of the most beautiful flowers, trees, hanging baskets, and more, sure to add beauty for years to come. We are also a gardener's dream come true. From veggies to herbs, we have the best. Decorative planting pots and yard art, the most in one place. Smoking barbecue wood to wood for your indoor and outdoor fireplaces. Kiter Nursery Landscape Outlet, come grow with us. Find us on Facebook, open 7 days a week.
It's the annual 2 + 2 = 0 at Credit King Auto Sales. I told Dad perfect timing. It's right in time for back to school. It is so easy. 2 years at your job, 2 years where you live, and with those 2 things, you can drive off with zip, zero, nada, nothing down. Pretty cool, huh? Come in now and save some serious money with the annual Credit King 2 + 2 = 0 down payment. Credit King Auto Sales. Bad credit, no worries at the King's Corner, 31st Street South and Broadway.
And we're back with another episode of Real People, Real Life.
America.
That's
right. As always.
Where you been?
We're saving that for
Okay, yeah. We'll save that for last. Okay, and today with us we have a friend of mine that I've known for a long time.
Long time.
A long time. Shane.
Hi, how are you guys?
Thanks.
What's up, Shane?
What's up?
Shane, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm the artist Young, Sick, the Gifted. I am currently signed to Sun Cycle Industries. Previous to that, I was signed to Crush Kill Recordings, which was Ideas label, subsidy of Rhyme Slayers Entertainment.
Do you have any music that we can share with our public that's
Tons.
PG-13?
Oh, that's PG-13. No, it's more kind of. I don't have anything unedited brought with me. That's what you're asking.
Yeah, we'll need something
I could have
edit-
done that.
We'll need
yeah.
something edited.
I could have done that.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure that was the direction you were going.
Well, it's daytime TV.
7:30 a.m. That's like early morning.
Early
right?
morning.
7:30
We're gonna
a.m.
wake these people up with a little.
Yeah. Freestyle? I don't know.
That's good. Yeah. We can definitely. If you
Oh,
got
do
an
you
instrumental-
freestyle?
Of course I freestyle.
Let's hear it.
Well, you got an instrumental. for me?
PG-13.
I don't know if I can bang that out for you.
Oh, that's sorry about that, folks.
Yeah.
Now that mic blew up
Just
there.
got to your ears.
Yeah, blew your ears out. So what are you working on right now?
Right now, I'm working on the new EP, Rabbit Bites Snake. Actually, it's probably going to be a 2-disc LP. It's featuring Sea Ray's Walls, Mr. Dibs from Atmosphere, a couple tracks with Idea, 2 mixes on it, KRS-One, Guru from Gangstar, previous to his death. It's just a gigantic project that's stemmed across 3 different record labels.
Wow.
And it's finally getting released now that I'm finally released.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because you have not exactly been a free man.
Because I have not
until the
exactly
recent-
been a free man. I've been somewhat of a political prisoner, I guess it would be.
Wow, wow.
How-
Sounds like a story.
Yeah, it does sound like a story. So go ahead and tell us your story.
We love political prisoners.
I used to be a really shady individual for a long time, and I think that anything you do in life, you need to have a reason for it. So as my growth took me through where I no longer need a reason or the same reasons for doing things. I'm originally from Wichita, Kansas. I'm originally from a neighborhood called Plainview. I was born on a floor in Plainview. I grew up in the toxic, just constant rotary of life that Plainview exhibits, and then eventually you break free. Eventually you realize that you're no longer just yourself. You're part of a unit. Eventually you realize that unit's part of a neighborhood. Eventually that neighborhood becomes part of a city. Eventually you realize that you're no longer a member of yourself. You're a member of this globe. You remember that we're all connected scientifically and spiritually.
Yeah.
And eventually you stop living for yourself. So I started hacking banks, and I went from being kind of a shitty bank hacker. Oh, you can't say that word.
Bleep.
Bleep that out instead. To being what I consider a decent human being and targeting companies that I consider corrupt and redirecting their funds through charities.
And why not?
If you can
And,
do it, you
and
can
that
do it.
ended you
I got 9 months for it. $5.7
for
million.
being a good guy.
Yeah.
The charities have to give the money back?
No, they don't.
That's sweet.
That's right, yeah.
The
So shout out to
charities-
the United Homeless Foundation, AACP.
Now, in the meantime, did you give these guys a really big tax deduction too? Though?
You know, I don't know that much about it, but I don't think Ted Turner does either. I don't think he even knows what's going on with this money. It's not like he showed up in court. 2 of his accountants did. I don't even know if he even knows who I am. He might even know the network we're on right now. Who knows?
Do not try this at home, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, the end of this story is he has turned his life around, correct?
Yeah. I just got off tour in Colorado. That's
Yeah.
right. I just did 16 dates with Sea Ray's Walls and Lucky I Am from Living Legends in Colorado.
Very good.
Absolutely.
You guys recognize all of these names, of course.
It's definitely in you guys' age
You're
bracket.
in music, so you might.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recognize none of them.
That does
Yeah, I
not-
dabble, but my focus has been mostly a lot older than that.
Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what do you got coming up that you want to talk about?
Let's see. What's getting released? We already covered over the EP, the new Sun Cycle artist. I'm currently acting co-CEO. I just bit off a big chunk and dropped a bunch of money into the label itself, and now I am co-CEO. We have 36 separate signed artists coming out this year. We have 52 projects dropping this year as a label. We've just released 19 music videos last month. I've been out of prison 60 days. I played the largest music festival in the United States, Soundset, in that 60 days, sold out. First Avenue Theater within that 60 days. I've played for a little over 500,000 people. And right now I'm working on this next tour, hopefully with Greaves and Budo.
So what we have here is actually a success story. I mean, even though, you know, his situation fostered a bad skill. I wouldn't say if it was a skill that maybe wasn't exactly.
It's actually like a pretty decent skill to me.
It's kind of like a trade. It's not necessarily a skill. It's more of a trade.
That fostered this need to become a better human being, and also the avenue of which he pursued it, which donated to charity. I mean, that is a good cause.
Well, we're definitely all connected, that's for sure.
I've
Do not try this at home.
been in situations of a similar nature for worse stuff.
But the moral to the story is you can come from Plainview, which is a very low rent, gang-infested, tough neighborhood here in Wichita, Kansas. You can rise up. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you were, what you thought you were. You can become anything you want to be, can't you, Shane?
Well, there's no journey that takes place in the same place. You never have a journey in your origin. You have to leave. You can't stand still. You can't be complacent in life to get anything done.
Did coming from Wichita help you or hurt you when you get out in the broader entertainment?
It made me more reliant on myself, but I also think that that's the chronological error of my craft and of my genre of music. I think that Wichita made me a fairly independent person, but no, you can't be a professional musician in this city. It's not possible.
That's unfortunate.
There are cities you can. There are cities you can.
Yeah, he's
if
totally right about
if you're in a cover band or something, you might be able to line up 5 gigs a week here.
If you're super cute.
Which I am.
Well, there you go.
No, I'm saying locally, like, you have to have an appeal to be a local artist, and but you're not gonna. I know lots of local artists that just gave it up eventually and just.
There's not that much exposure here.
There's not enough.
And
There is not.
unfortunately, it just doesn't feel like there's enough support either.
Yes, because everybody has the internet,
There's
YouTube, like
there's
Justin
a lot
Bieber
of
did.
support in this town. Like when I first started off and I was battling in this town, when I left for Blaze Battles, like the city had my back, and I got back from Blaze Battles, and it was a good welcome home thing. But whenever it was like, all right, cool, well, I need to go get on tour. I need to go play 16 out of town shows this month. How can I make that happen? Who can I do that with? Nobody was there for me to turn back into, which isn't saying anything about the community. It's just saying personal motivation of an artist. There's not a lot of motivation here, but you're never going to get to be a national artist playing the same 5 clubs in the same fucking town. Oops. Can't say that word.
We'll bleep again. He's doing really great if you've listened to any of his music.
Oh my gosh. So good.
So good.
Profanity's verbal
Yeah, you
translation.
do. In order to be successful out of Wichita, you have to get out there and hit the road.
You have to do that anywhere. I've been living in Minneapolis, Minnesota for the last 3 years. Second best city in the United States for music next to Nashville. Second best city where you can be an independent artist next to Nashville. Everybody tours. Everybody that's paying their rent on their art tours. You have to. I'm on the road 200 nights a year. You've got to do that just to make ends meet. Mm-hmm. Forget anything else. Forget owning a car. Forget owning property. Forget all that. In order for you to make a car payment, you're going to have to be on the road 200 nights a year. You're going to have to sell merchandise. You're going to have to promote yourself. You got to have tangible art and tangible craft that you created in order to sell these people. You're not going to make money. You're not making money.
I think a lot of people miss the Merc table. The Merc table is a big part, isn't it?
It is. And coming from a city like this that it was forced such an independent grind. I guess I'm not an apathetic person to begin with. Like, I'm just not lazy. But having a city and a genre of music to where you're forced that, and coming up in the era that I did, it allows me to, no matter what city I can walk into, I can jump on a Greyhound bus right now with a backpack full of CDs, and I'm not going to go to sleep on the street. I'm going to be in a hotel by the night, and it's probably not going to be a junkie hotel. But I think a lot of that does come from the city, but has the city helped me musically, aside from instilling a work ethic? No.
Because you just can't get ahead here. There's just not a lot of opportunity.
There's just not enough scene. There's not enough scene.
You're right. He's in this scene is actually what it is, and he knows. So, what's your experience here for artists, local artists? What's your advice? Tour?
Well, yeah, you have to get out, but you have to keep working your craft. You have to get better. You have to get better at it. It's not one of those things around here. Money can't be your first priority on it.
The term starving artist exists for a reason.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
It absolutely.
I know a lot of artists. I know a lot of artists who have been, really successful here, and who are kind of legendary.
Yes, we do, don't we?
So it's funny that we kind of they still fly under the radar here in Wichita. Like
Even as
somebody
amazing as they are, like Rudy Love.
like Rudy, or even like Steve Murillo.
Yeah, it's crazy how people around here don't even realize what they have.
So, and there's so much. There's also so much out here in Wichita for people to do and see and go to, and a lot of the times they just don't. You should. I mean, people should get out here and check it out.
Yeah, because there actually is a lot of stuff out there, but if you talk to your average Joe, they're going to tell you there's nothing to do here.
Oh, and you guys have an amazing flow art community. Like Hannah Vaughn is leading an amazing flow art community, and it's just like hip hop. Like everything starts with the movement. That's where everything begins at. So it's definitely on its mend.
And there's a lot of guys who are creating digital games. There's a lot of that stuff out there. There's a lot of good hackers. Yeah.
There's a lot of good what?
There's a lot of good hackers that are coming up with a lot of these different solutions, and it's a matter of innovating. And it's a matter of support from the community. So if you're one of those people who doesn't get out there, you should probably go check out Cowtown too.
Oh man, Friday nights are fun.
It was awesome show.
Oh really, Fred Eaglesmith?
Oh my gosh, and he had a merch table, and he made a ton of money off that table.
Wow.
I bet he did.
That's 90% of my income. Merch is 90% of my income.
I thought so.
Well, I consider you a success story, Shane.
Well, thank you.
And I appreciate you coming out to Real People, Real Life here and telling your
doubt.
story. All right, you guys, that's it for us. We will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, Mom. Bye, Julius.
Real People, Real Life is brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Albero Cafe, like a vacation to Italy, with Wichita's best Italian dining. Open Monday to Saturday. Happy hour Monday to Thursday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Enjoy our featured cocktails, lovely wines, and famous martinis. Albero Cafe.
Easy Pay Auto Sales, 2305 South Broadway. Our goal is to make your next auto buying experience nice and easy. We specialize in getting you the best prices with the most reasonable down payments. Bad credit, no worries. We keep it hassle-free and no crazy gimmicks. You can even call and make your payments over the phone with your credit or debit cards. Keeping it nice and easy for you at Easy Pay Auto Sales, 2305 South Broadway. Find us on Facebook.
When you look good, you feel amazing. Let 2NVMe help you. Straight, wavy curls, volume, or 100% virgin hair is the best in the world. The perfect professional business look, the perfect fun lady social look, the perfect beautiful night on the town. You can be all of those and more with real hair extensions from 2NVMe. 6160 East 21st Street North, Suite 220. Buy online with free shipping at 2NVMe.com. You deserve to feel fantastic.
It's the annual 2 plus 2 equals 0 at Credit King Auto Sales. I told Dad perfect timing. It's right in time for back to school. It is so easy. 2 years at your job, 2 years where you live, and with those 2 things, you can drive off with zip, zero, nada, nothing down. Pretty cool, huh? Come in now and save some serious money with the annual Credit King 2 plus 2 equals 0 down payment. Credit King Auto Sales. Bad credit, no worries at the King's Corner, 31st Street South and Broadway.
Real People, Real Life is brought to you by these fine sponsors.